Super patch, Liberty. Get moving like never before. So what does the Liberty patch do? The Liberty patch improves balance, stability, range of motion, vitality. We've done millions of demonstrations with the Liberty patch to show people the aha moment of how our tech improves their balance, stability, strength, whatnot. Now, the question is, why is that important? The reason our balance and stability is important is perhaps the most important reason in health and wellness. Everybody wants to live longer and healthier. That is the promise of nutrition, exercise, therapies, you name it. Everybody wants to live longer and healthier. Yes? But to improve anything, you have to measure it. Have we all heard that? You can't improve anything you can't measure. The most reliable measurement of longevity in adults is our balance and stability, but no one ever measures them. But here we have this product that we can instantly demonstrate to anyone in the world, doesn't matter where they are, doesn't matter how old they are, that we can enhance their quality of life, their balance and stability instantly. And really the only product in the world that can do this. So when we instantly improve their balance stability, a study showed by about 31%, that means we are impacting positively the most reliable biomarker for longevity. If better balance stability means we live longer, and this patch improves our balance stability, that means this patch is going to help us live longer with a higher quality of life. Better balance stability means better mobility, means better freedom, means more liberty. When we are in balance, we have better efficiency of our muscles. That means we get less tired. Think about the alignment of a car. When the alignment of our car is off, we have more wear and tear in our tires, right? Poor mileage. Car breaks down more. But when we have better alignment in our car, when we have better alignment in our body with the Liberty patch, we have less wear and tear. We get better mileage, meaning we have more energy. We don't get tired as fast. We can do more things longer. If we want to live longer with the vitality that we all want, a lot of things are important. Obviously, exercise is important. Nutrition is important. But the core thing that makes all of those better is balance stability. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the only product scientifically proven to improve balance stability. There isn't another product that's scientifically proven to improve balance stability. So if you think of a cane doesn't improve the person's balance stability. A cane gives somebody support. A walker doesn't improve somebody's balance stability. A walker gives them support. There isn't a nutritional product in the world. There isn't a vitamin, a peptide, anything, a protein shake, an omega oil, anything that you can consume that's going to improve our balance and stability, except this. This is foundational. This is the first product that I made for my mom to help her muscle recruitment, to help her balance stability, to help her vitality. This is game-changing and really company-forming stuff here. This is the beginning of it all, this patch here, my favorite. Second patch of utmost importance, our freedom patch. Deal with pain like never before. So aches and pains. So Jay, what do you mean by aches and pains? Yeah, when we have discomfort, we can take our amazing freedom patch and put it where we feel the discomfort. We want to avoid putting it on an angle or a joint because the bending will probably take the patch off. But we want to put it as close to the pain as possible between the source of the pain and our brain. So if my elbow is hurting, I want to put it between my elbow and my brain as close as possible to the elbow. So I'd probably put it right about here. Okay. If my knee is hurting, I want to and I can't put it right on top of my knee. I want to put it above my knee because that's closer to my brain. I can wear more than one freedom patch, depending on how many places I have aches and pains. My wife recently got me gardening. I had aches and pains in more than one place. So I had more than one freedom patch on, right? Why is that important? Because our pain mechanisms and our pain networks work on isolation and identifying the different types of pain. So we have to get them as close to the source of discomfort as we can, right? So the question then begs is, who's this for? This is for anyone that's going to take an OTC painkiller, whether it's ibuprofen or otherwise. Study shows, so this is the important part. The study shows that over a 2-week period, it was studied for 2 weeks with a placebo control, that over 80% of people saw relief in under 20 minutes, and on average, a 72% reduction in pain from medium pain to mild or no pain. That's incredible. And the relief lasted 24 hours. Let that sink in. An average of 72% reduction in speed, 80% of people reported relief in under 20 minutes, and the relief lasted 24 hours. No 2 pills every 4 hours, every 6 hours, none of that. 85% of the users who were on anti-inflammatory drugs stopped taking those drugs in the study and started using the Freedom Patch only. Almost 90% of the people in the study prefer the Freedom Patch over their OTC pain medicine. That's what the study shows. So people say, well, is this going to make the cause of the pain go away? No, right? If you have an injury, what are you doing to manage the pain of the injury? Most people are taking some kind of pill, some kind of painkiller. This is the safe alternative. It's non-habit forming, no side effects, doesn't do anything terrible to your belly or to your intestines, right? Or our gut biome. It's not habit forming, right? So let's not get carried away. What we don't want to do is talk about any specific disease or condition, because we do not cure, treat, or diagnose any disease, right? People that have chronic illnesses take painkillers, yes? Those painkillers are not solving their issue. The painkillers are helping them cope with the pain. This is a drug-free pain coping mechanism that's completely safe for all ages. So we cannot talk about diseases, and we cannot ask about it, because every time we ask about somebody saying, well, what about this disease or what about that disease? We are inferring that it does something for the disease when all we're talking about is the pain and discomfort, right? So we have to be very careful, because, ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned to you before, the purveyors and the system is looking for us to say the wrong thing at the wrong time so they can come and say, hey, no more drug-free health and wellness super patch. You guys are making health and wellness claims. We do not do that, right? We have to stay within those rails. Only what's on the patch and only what's on the website can we say, okay? But this patch, one of our best-selling products, right for everybody all the time. Then another one of our amazing patches, our Victory Patch. Now, there are people amongst us in the field, our customers, our families, even perhaps ourselves, who seemingly are in perfect shape. We go to the gym, we play sports, we're very active, very healthy, full of life and vitality and vigor. And there's a massive demographic out there. There's like 64 million people in the United States that have a gym membership. Let that sink in, right? 5.5 million kids playing sports in high school. How big is athletics? Sports is the one unifying thing still left in our society. And those, people that are interested in being their level best, being the best version of themselves, also want something that's drug-free. They also want to be the best version of themselves, right? And this is where the Victory Patch comes in. More strength, more balance, more stability, more power, better recovery. What every athlete wants, what every active person wants. We're just waiting for our study to be published from the University of Arizona. We're seeing D1 athletes have peak power outputs at 10% in a double-blinded study at one of the leading universities in the country. The study shows that we're helping balance athletes' weak side with their dominant side. Is bringing up their weak side's power to manage and balance out with their dominant side. These are game-changing developments. Think about that. Those of you that played sports, imagine our weak side being as strong as our dominant side. Injury prevention, recovery, peak performance, peak power, coordination, all of it goes higher. Victory Patch is an amazing product. Another product that goes right in hand with something like that is our Boost Patch. Clean energy. You might have all seen the recent deluge of press that energy drinks have gotten, the danger that energy drinks pose people because of all the crazy ingredients inside them. There isn't one that doesn't have those ingredients. They lead to muscle loss, heart issues, breathing issues, metabolic issues, so many things connected with those crazy ingredients, caffeine, sugar, stimulants inside those energy drinks. And there's a boost of energy with those, and then they crash. There's jitters. Boost. Clean energy. No sugar, no caffeine, no stimulants, clean energy. This, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you right now, will be our best-selling product over time. We launched it last November. It's absolutely amazing. It's also great to do our balance stability test because we can also do that with the Boost Patch. And what this gives us is a product that we can share with our children because they're going to drink those energy drinks anyways. I don't know if you know this. There's a reason it's a $50, $60 billion industry. Energy drinks is a $50 to $60 billion industry marketing poison to our children and us. Here's the alternative. This works great as a pre-workout. It works great on long drives. This works great on long shifts. This works great in the mid afternoon. This works great when we got to work late. This is just great. And you can combine this with your Victory Patch, your Liberty Patch, whatever you need to do. So you have not only just the mental clarity, but the energy to keep going. Game-changing product. But just like we need to move around and get things done and bring a high level of energy to our lives, we can never forget how important good sleep is. Sleep is really the number one medicine in the world, right? If we're sleeping well and we're getting great sleep, everything is better. When we're not sleeping well and we have poor sleep, everything is not as well as it could be. Long-term sleep disorders, where we're not sleeping well or deep enough or getting enough REM sleep, lead to not just fatigue, but a myriad of other challenges, right? You can look those up. Mood challenges, recovery challenges, digestion challenges, it all piles up. But sleep is neurologically controlled, right? So the REM patch helps restore those sleep programs to get us back on track so we can sleep and get a good night's sleep. Not necessarily longer, but quality sleep. But there's a study that shows, placebo-controlled study, that people are falling asleep 50% faster and sleeping 25% longer. So the study had people that claimed to have terrible sleep, really bad sleep. At the end of 2 weeks, what they found was they were falling asleep 50% faster. So before they started falling asleep, they were taking a little over 60 minutes to fall asleep. And they're sleeping about 5 hours a night, interrupted sleep. 2 weeks of wearing the REM patch, they're falling asleep in about 30 minutes, they're sleeping about 6.5 hours. And they're waking up refreshed, recovered, rejuvenated, ready for work without the grogginess of melatonin, sleeping aids, which carry on after you wake up. Right? The effects of any sleeping aid that we ingest doesn't wear off the minute we wake up. It's still in there. It's going to work its way through. Take the patch off, we're good to go. Okay? That's why this is so important. Now, there's just another study that just came out, and it talked about vivid lucid dreams of when people get to REM sleep. Many of us that have used this patch have found that we're dreaming like we've never dreamed before. We're very lucid, vivid dreams. That is actually an output of people that didn't get to a lot of REM sleep. So this is a study that was done on our product, was just done on REM sleep and how people having these dreams. Another thing that I found is that you have to give it 2 weeks. You have to give the REM patch 2 weeks to see the efficacy of it. And you got to measure it, whether it's on a watch or some kind of device. We got to measure it because people won't know, right? People won't know until they actually see the quantified difference. But what I found that really improves this for people, especially people that have hectic lifestyles or super stressful lifestyles, because what's causing their sleeplessness? Usually it's one of two reasons. Some kind of ache or pain. So goodness, if somebody's sleeping because of aches and poor sleep because of aches and pains, we have a freedom patch. But the other reason is sometimes people don't sleep well is because of things on their mind, because of stress that they're carrying. So that's why this next patch is so important. If you or somebody you know is having poor sleep, I always suggest that during the day and even the night, they wear the peace patch as well. Because that poor sleep didn't happen overnight. There's probably a lot of emotional challenges, physical challenges over time that have built up. So what the peace patch does is it brings them down, calms them. This patch is amazing. So enough about the REM patch, let's get to the peace patch. Control study shows, again, over 2 weeks, a 33% reduction in perceived stress. 33% reduction in perceived stress, a 24% improvement in mental health factors, a statistically significant improvement in people's willingness to go outside and be active. So what does this mean? Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a pandemic in the world right now, it's long-term stress. Everybody's dealing with it. Everyone's got it. What happens is we adapt. We just think that's part of life and we're supposed to be stressed out, that the bills got to get paid. I got to do the job. I got to manage my relationships. There's a million things that are causing anxiety and stress in the world. Right? But we've never actually been taught how to cope with the stress other than just to carry it. Right? Coping mechanisms of stress are not taught. So how do we do it other than a pill? Right? There is a list, pages long, to help people deal with stress. And what it does is it pretty much makes them into zombies, right? We've all seen that, the side effects of those pills and those drugs. So here's a product, completely safe, easy to use, and you feel it right away. You feel the calmness come over you right away, like in minutes. And again, the relief lasts 24 hours. It gives us a sense of a feeling like, you know what, it's okay. I'm okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. So whatever this situation is right now, then I'm going to get through it. And when we bring our flight and fight response into harmony, everything gets better. Stress has an impact on everything in our health and wellness. Heart health, digestive health, mental health. Everything is impacted when we're stressed out for a long period of time. Long periods of high stress lead to digestive issues and ulcers. It's the number one precursor to blood pressure and heart conditions. It's fact. Fact. I'll give you another scary fact, not to scare you, but enlighten you. 90% of adults that develop diabetes in adulthood, there is a highly emotionally traumatic experience or event that's happened in their life 6 months previous to that, within the previous 6 months. Isn't that terrifying? So 90% of the people who develop diabetes as adults, in the 6 months before they're diagnosed with that, they've had some traumatic emotional event happen in their life. It could be a divorce, a death in the family, loss of a job, loss of a career, financial issues, you name it. You name it. Within that's a scary number. Why? Because we're taking stress for granted, right? Everybody needs this. Our long-term health depends on this. I wear this patch every day. I wear this patch every day, whether I'm feeling stress or I'm not feeling, because stress is the silent killer. Stress is the silent killer. Because we just carry it on our back. And we walk around, everything's great, everything's great. Meanwhile, the insides are crumbling. Do yourself a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Try it for a month. You'll feel amazing. Next patch, joy patch. Isn't this great? Like to have the whole idea, to have a patch that without drugs, without chemicals, without stimulants, gives you hope, happiness like never before. Sunshine in a patch, a hug in a patch, mood enhancement, outlook enhancement, positive mental attitude in a patch. Talk about dynamic optimism. This is optimism in a 2x2-inch patch. Why? Because that mindset is a neural program. Surprise, like I said, everything is. So if we can turn a cloudy day into a sunny day, why wouldn't we? Like, I mean, if we have a product that's going to get us to our childlike mood, you know, like you got little kids. I got this little grandbaby now. She's always smiling. I look at her and I start smiling. I might rename this patch to Rosie because that little kid gives me so much happiness. But think about it. Who doesn't need a little bit of happiness? And now you can combine this with our peace patch. Peace and joy. Peace and joy. Because the problem, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Most people don't want to talk about their problems. Right? Some people do. Then there's people like me. I don't talk about my problems. Ever. I don't talk to anyone. I just deal with it. Right? We're all raised differently. And as sad as to say, men have different expectations as they're raised as young boys and then young men and then fathers and husbands and all those other great things. Right? Most people don't know how to talk about it because they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of people, what will people say? I have to be strong. I have to be this. I have to be that. But there's a way to let people know. Say, hey, you know those days when you're not feeling yourself and you're a little bit gloomy? Try this patch. Try it out. Study shows that people's mood enhances, their cognitive networks enhance, they feel better. Right? And especially the stress patch. The stress patch, I would just say, hey, listen, everything's so stressful today. The peace patch, like if you're over 40 years old and you don't wear the peace patch, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. You will improve the quality of your life and your health by reducing the perceived stress by 33%. That's a big number. It's so big that you actually you change risk profiles. That's how big a number that is. You go from medium, high stress to low stress. You go out of the danger zone into the safe zone. Because I tell you, the things that are causing us stress, they're not going anywhere. Financial uncertainty is not going anywhere. The tax man isn't going anywhere. Their bills aren't going anywhere. Our teenagers aren't going to stop causing us problems. It's not going to go away. If you're over 40 years old, you need to be wearing the peace patch. As your friend, I'm saying this. You do as you decide, okay? One of the most wonderful and complex patches I've had the pleasure of making is our Kick It patch. Take back control. What does that mean? So sometimes in our lives, we develop some bad habits, right? And there's the default settings. We get a little bit of anxiety in our lives, a little bit of stress in our lives, and that's our default setting that helps us feel better, okay? That's our comfort, action, behavior, whatever that is, okay? And sometimes, though, those behaviors are bad for us. But there is a neurological loop that's happening that gets us from intention to action. So something starts with intention, it gets triggered because of some kind of stressor, then it leads to a thought, and it leads to an action. What we figured out is precisely that information loop from intention, trigger, intention, thought, and then action. And we can interrupt it when it's not good for us. What this is, in essence, is a willpower patch. Right? Because sometimes most of us, all we need is a reminder to say, hey, you know, that's probably not a good idea, Jay. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's probably not a good idea. But unfortunately, there's usually nobody around when we're going through that small little crisis where we're going to have an extra cookie or go for that smoke, right? Or whatever that is that we've identified for ourselves. This is that amazing, amazing product that gives us that willpower stamina to say, you know what? Not today. I'm okay for now. When you combine this with this, ooh, superpowers. Because remember that I talked about that trigger, the stress trigger? So if we eliminate the stress triggers or minimize the stress triggers, this works better. And they work side by side. And they work amazingly together. Okay? They work amazingly together. If somebody has a tendency for gloominess, you know, a little bit of Eeyore, kind of sad all the time, can't see the positive in anything, add a joy patch. If you want to make an impact on your outlook into life and develop that positive attitude where your glass becomes half full and the sun is seemingly always shining on your life, and the people, you want to feel that way, whether it is or not, but you want to feel like that it's going great, it's going to be great, I'm great, everything's great. This is the trifecta. This is the mental wellness trifecta right here. Peace, joy, kick it. It works great for kids. It works great for grandparents. It works great for people like me. I got my joy patch on right there. Love it. Love it. Love it. Because our stressors kick in bad habits, right? I'm stressed out today. I'm not going to make those calls. I'm not going to do this. Guess what? Kick it patch is going to help with that. Joy patch is going to help with that. Peace patch is going to help with that. And I'm not saying you need it every day. I'm saying use it as you feel. But if you feel like that you're having one of those not 100% rock and roll days, if you don't feel like a rock star, slap patch on. It's going to do amazing things for you. And here's the patch that almost, yeah, I think so. Every parent in my neighborhood buys for their kids. Focus patch. There is, I don't know, 35 homes in my neighborhood. I think 30 of them purchase this product. Focus. Why? You get it for their kids. And then they use it as well. A lot of professionals, lawyers, and doctors, entrepreneurs in my neighborhood. And what they find in their kids' ability to get chores done, to get their homework done, to focus on the task at hand, and even themselves in highly pressurized jobs of where performance is so key, or attention to detail is so key, they deliver. This patch is going to help get our children's attention spans back, because our children's attention spans have been stolen. They didn't lose attention spans. They were stolen by the algorithms on these phones. So all those apps, so the average teenager is on 6 different platforms: Insta, Snap, TikTok, blah, 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 blah. And they're switching from one to the other, one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. What happens is their mind gets stuck switching. It's called the switch cost effect. So instead of focus and deliberate practice and focus, is going back and forth. The average attention span of somebody in college right now is less than 90 seconds. The average attention span in marketing is 2 seconds. The algorithms did it. And we gave the kids the phones. All is not lost. This patch, study shows, this patch brings back their attention networks back online in under 20 minutes. Back to the green zone, back to factory reset. If we all agree that deliberate practice and deliberate focus is a key to success, this is the key to the next generation success. There's no way forward without this. because they're not learning the skills that are needed to focus, to read, to write. Everything is becoming a short circuit. So we can restore the short-circuited attention network and bring it back line. So, ladies and gentlemen, if it's good enough for my neighborhood, it's good enough for your neighborhood. It's good enough for everybody's neighborhood, because parents are all the same. Number one priority parents have are their kids, right? Number one priority parents have are their children, and the quality of life that children are going to live, their health, their wellness, their mental well-being, and how they're going to position themselves for success in life, right? Key, focus patch. One of perhaps the most beautiful patches I've ever designed, Defend Patch. Protect your wellness like never before. So our defense mechanisms in our body are controlled by a very intricate and complex neurological construct called the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. It's a connection between the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and our adrenal glands. And there is a neurological communication loop there that responds when our body is under attack or under incredible stressors from foreign invaders. If that loop is not working properly, whether overactive or underactive, the response of that process, the HPA axis, the response of that neural network is not appropriate, meaning either it will do too much and the body seems to fight itself, or it will do too little, too late, and then get overrun by the bad stuff. So what this does is it restores the HPA axis to factory reset. So the appropriate response happens in time. Okay? So nothing else does this. Nothing in the world helps restore the functionality of our HPA axis on a neurological control. So what do we see? We see people that sneeze less in the spring. We see people break out less. We see people have better defense mechanisms when everybody around them is getting sick and they're not getting as sick, or they're recovering a lot faster when they do get a little bit under the weather. Is it going to cure anything? No. Can't say that. We don't talk about that. Is it going to protect your body like never before? Absolutely. So that's the big picture. The little picture does incredible things in our body's ability to defend itself. So I don't know if you've seen the videos, but there's tons of them online, where if we take a look at the quality of the blood flow before defend and after defend. Before defend, you see blood cells, red blood cells. They call it rouleaus, where they're clogged up and clumpy. What does that mean? Blood flow is going to be an issue. Oxygenation is going to be an issue. Blood is not going to get to the microcapillaries. Microcirculation is going to be an issue. You put the defend patch on, you come back a couple hours later, not a long later, just a little bit later, and you see the blood cells are flowing freely. Nice round red blood cells. You see active white blood cells flowing. That means circulation is going to be better. Microcirculation is going to be better. It's going to get to do what it's supposed to do. Right? When we can get oxygen to every corner, nook, and body of our body, we're going to be healthier. But if our blood is clumpy, thick, and rouleau and just clogged up, it's not going to get everywhere. That means oxygen is not going to get everywhere. Defend patch, it's amazing. You got to get on this product. If you feel lethargic, or you're hanging around, or you travel, like I travel a lot, so I needed one of these in my backpack all the time. You've got little kids always bringing stuff home. Like my son used to bring, I don't know, a different bug home every day. Wish I had this back then. If you got kids or grandkids at home, little kids, always coughing, sneezing, bringing stuff home, patch them and patch yourself. Pretty exciting. And then we get to Ignite Patch. Burn calories, deal with calories like never before. So listen, 45 days, mark the day. June 19, I just got off the big Zoom call with our research partners. Study's done. Highlights. Up to 25% more calories burnt at rest, even more burnt during exercise. with this patch. We see people, and the study shows, they're craving less food. Study shows that. They're burning more calories. Studies show that. The doctor who did it, Dr. Faison, inside scoop. This was supposed to be published 6 months ago, the study. She thought she did the study wrong. She did not believe the results would be what they were. She did it twice. Let that sink in. She is a digestive expert. She has a weight loss clinic. She's a metabolic expert. She said this is incredible. The results were so mind-blowing, she did not feel comfortable presenting them in a study. She said that she needed to do them again because she felt that perhaps there was an error made. That's what this is. So you keep your lifestyle as it is, you're going to burn 25% more calories every day than you would have without the patch. So if your average RMR is 2,000 calories a day, you put this on, you're going to burn an extra up to 500 calories a day. Extra. But now get this though. This is not a race to size 0. Why? Because size 0 might not be healthy for you. This is optimizing your metabolism for wellness and health. Does it make sense? It's going to help your body regulate its metabolic burn that's healthy for you because your body knows what's healthy for it. That is way more important. You can be underweight and sick. You can be malnourished, thin, and sick. Okay? This social craze of vanity is making people sicker. You see now, Google side effects of Ozempic, look out for the class action lawsuits coming. People have frozen stomachs, they can't process sugar, they can't process food. It's a disaster. I'm not surprised. You want to maximize your metabolism, you want to maximize your calorie burn and your energy burn? There you go. Study will show. I can say that because the study's done. It's just not published. It's okay. It doesn't need to be published. I can share those results with you. Mind-blowing stuff. Rocket Patch. Designed for men to help them restore some of their youth, vitality, vigor, libido, etc. What we found over the last almost year is it works amazing for women as well. Okay? So what does this mean? It means you can bring that energy level and that vigor and vitality back to your life. It has a physical response and it has an emotional response. As we start recovering how we're feeling, once we're feeling physically well, we start feeling mentally well and emotionally well. This is a super product. But for men, this is how this works. Under 30, you see pretty amazing results, 3 days. Under 40, 40 to 50, 2 weeks, 50 plus 3 weeks. We know this product works really well because a lot of people buy it over and over and over again. We don't have necessarily all the testimonials yet. We're working on it. But hey, this is a product that I believe in time, as we do enough more studies on it, we're going to see that it's doing amazing things. In time, we'll be able to prove it. Hormone health, hormone balance, we'll be able to prove that in time. But it's doing amazing, amazing results for people looking to reclaim some of that youth. Absolutely phenomenal product. And then finally, the Lumi patch. Glow like never before. So this is how this patch works. This patch, in time, will give you the best skin you've ever had. In time, will give you the best skin you ever had without a cream, without a lotion, without a potion, without collagen, without anything. And this is how this works. Okay? Nothing else in the world does what this patch does. I'll tell you what this thing does. So every square centimeter of our body, every square centimeter of our body is emitting photons, biophotons, light, 10,000 photons per square centimeter. It's a little bit of skin like this. Those biophotons are a byproduct of cell respiration. Cell respiration is a metabolic function controlled by yours truly. If we can optimize that cell respiration through cell signaling, amazing things happen. The first thing happens is we optimize that cell respiration. So when a cell respires, three byproducts. One is biophotonic, second is wasted energy, third is ATP. When we optimize that cell respiration, we reduce the wasted energy, we maximize the biophotonics, and we maximize the ATP production. Okay, so that means that we have stronger, healthier cells. Now here's the magic. When we have stronger, healthier cells, they replace themselves and reproduce themselves with healthier versions of themselves. We are shedding skin and replacing our cells all the time. What this does in a very short period of time, it starts helping our body replace itself with higher quality skin cells. So what does that look like? Clear skin, less blemishes, less wrinkles, a radiance that we've never had before. And here's the kicker. Better skin helps makeup work better, right? Healthier, clearer skin means you got a better foundation to work with when using your makeup. Now, how expensive is makeup? Makeup's crazy expensive, right? Cosmetics are crazy expensive. But imagine skincare that's drug-free, allergen-free, no rashes, no nothing. It's going to give you clear skin. I don't know if you guys know this. Remember that company Proactive that was on TV so many years ago? It's still $1 billion business every year. Right here. Right here. Ladies on this call, there's about 800 of you on this call. Do me a favor. Here's a challenge. Do Jay a favor. Please. I'm begging you. Go get the Lumi patch. Find a spot in your room, in your house, white background, same lighting, same type of day. Start wearing, take a before picture, same spot. Every day at the same time of day, take a picture, same pose, same spot, same lighting. And take a picture every day for 30 days or 28 days. You will have the best before and after time-lapsed improvement. It will blow your mind, because then you know that everything else that you use for cosmetics, skincare is going to work better. Because when the skin is better, everything else is better. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Product Training, June 2025. I'm so glad you joined us. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye for now.